Hello traders and welcome to the market opening preview October 13th on a Thursday 2016. Traders, this is brought to you by FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, great to be with you. Coming to you from Thailand. Cloudy, windy, rainy skies. Not a good day to go to the beach. It's going to be a day in the office. Traders, great to be with you on a Thursday. FOMC minutes came out. The markets reacted. We'll get to that in just a moment. So, it's going to be an interesting week. We have 6 charts to look at today, and they're quite interesting to say the least. And I think we might end the week on a good positive note. Traders, let's take a look at our legal stuff, and this is our risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential reward, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex or any other financial market. Traders, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, remember this is a game of capital preservation. Live to trade for tomorrow. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, traders, let me introduce myself to you. My name is William Gilda. I am your moderator for the market opening preview series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I do record this during the Asia session, and this way we can get this onto YouTube, and you still have several hours before the London Open to take a look. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006. 2008, I retired from a wonderful 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida. Traders, 9 days later, came to Thailand for a 3-month holiday. Traders, I'm in my 9th year in Asia and absolutely loving it. The time zone is great. Early in the morning for Asia, afternoon 1:30 in the afternoon Thailand time, and about 8 o'clock at night for New York. I do trade a different instrument in New York. I trade options in the New York session. Traders, how do I trade? I'm a pullback trader. I like a currency pair to make a move, give us a pullback to a confluence area, a significant level, a price level, and enter into my position. I love being analysis of a chart. I love taking and tearing apart a chart. I love price action, price structure, price failure, price levels. I talk about this every day, price levels. So important. Remember, Forex repeats itself, and that's an advantage to us as traders. That if a price goes to a level, it's going to react. We know that from the past, right, from history. And, candlestick patterns, you have to know. There's only 7 candlestick patterns you have to know, and they're easy. And once you know the candlestick patterns, the candles will tell you a story and possibly where we're going in the future, right? Where do we want to see these patterns? Well, support and resistance, right? And we want to see indecision candles or decision candles depending on what we're doing in that trade. The other big point of my trading is fundamentals. I need to know what's going on around the globe, and I need to know what's going on when news events are coming out. If I'm in a trade, I want to know if somebody's speaking that I should know about, or what is happening with that specific data. Remember, we don't want to step in front of a freight train when it's coming down the track, right? And data is like a freight train, so we don't want to get in the way of it. And we want to protect our positions, right? We need news. We need data. Data makes the markets move. That makes us money, right? That's what it's all about. So data is good. There's nothing bad with data. It's how we prepare for it and get ready for it in reference to our money management, right? Are you going to stay in the trade? Are you going to take a small loss and get out? Are you break even plus 20 pips and you're just going to ride it out? If it stops you out, it stops you out. What are you going to do in that trade? And that's so important that you get that from your fundamentals and then, of course, from your analysis on your charts. Put those two together and we come up with a trade plan. Once the trade plan is enacted, it's simple. I put alerts on my charts. I get an alert on my watch, my iPhone, my iPad, whatever. I come back to my desk and I take a look at what's going on and possibly make an entry. I do not make an entry on the road. I can monitor my trades on the road via iPhone, iPad, whatever I have on me, but I don't enter trades on the road. I have to enter trades at my desk with all my screens, and I need to make sure that we're doing the right thing, and that's so important, right? So I don't do that on the road. How about I can monitor on the road? I can exit a trade, move my stop, because I'm in profit, all that good stuff. I can do that on the road. So traders, that's just a little bit about how I trade and what I do. Let's get moving. Let's talk about some news and commentary. Let's take a look at the Dow. The Dow 30 closed up 0.09%. The S&P 500 closed up 0.11%. The Nasdaq was down 0.15%, with the small cap 2000 negative 0.25%. Traders, the markets had FOMC minutes released, and the minutes basically reveal that there is going to be a rate hike in December. That's just evident that the attitude is that that's going to happen. So what happened? The markets picked up on that. That's good news for the markets. Not necessarily good news for the multi-rich, but it's good news for the markets, right? All right, let's take a look at what happened in the DAX and the Eurozone. The DAX down 0.51%, the FTSE 100 down 0.86%, the CAC 40 negative 0.44%, and the Eurostoxx 50 down 0.48%, all in the red. All in the red. They have some issues coming out of the Eurozone, and they just need to take care of it. The Nikkei 225 currently trading is up 0.63%. The S&P ASX 200 out of Australia is negative 0.45%. The China 850 closed yesterday negative 0.28%, and the Hang Seng closed negative 0.60%. However, the Kospi in Seoul is currently trading as barely in the red at 0.03%. Traders, let's get over to the economic calendar, take a look at what's going on. Like I said, we did have 2 p.m. on Wall Street, 1400 hours. We did have the FOMC minutes come out. Some low impact data came out after that. And we're looking for today, and I've got to say there is nothing, and I mean nothing. Well, that's not right. Hold on, we got some China data coming out. We got trade balance coming out late in Asia today. We have China's trade balance. That's really important. That is very important. And the Fed's going to be watching that very closely because China's on a slowdown, right? They're pulling back a little bit. So the Fed, I'm sure, would like to see them have some good numbers, right? Some good numbers. They're expecting 53 billion on this, and previous was 52. So they're expecting an uptick on that one. All right, let's take a look. We do have, everything is low impact in the European session. So data is nil to none. And if I'm not mistaken, yes, we do. We have crude oil inventories in the U.S. session today. That is probably the biggest data out today. I don't see anything else that is going to do anything. We have FOMC member Hawker speaks today, and that will be at 12:15 on Wall Street. And that's it, folks. So we do have some data coming out. China data in the U.S. and oil inventories in the U.S. session. So, yeah. Pretty good stuff. So China and Asia, oil inventories in New York, nothing in the European Eurozone for data today. So that wraps up what we got coming out, what's going on, and how the markets reacted yesterday. All right, commentary. Yeah, interesting charts. I think the markets did react to this FOMC minutes. Now, I have not read them, my friends. I have not read the minutes. I really don't know. I'm getting this from what I've read in the newspaper early this morning. So I have not gone onto any sites and stuff like that. But it looks like basically the Fed is going to raise, and the markets are mixed on that news. So also, just to chime in on the presidential election in the United States, it looks like Hillary Clinton is going to absolutely take this election not only by a little bit, by a landslide. This is going to be an absolute bashing of the election. She's going to just absolutely wipe everything out, and she's going to win this election by a landslide, is my prediction. And we'll know about that in about 3.5 weeks. Okay, let's get over to the charts. Let's take a look at the Euro-Yen. First one on the bucket today. Actually, this is at a good spot, my friends. This is at a great spot. This is just below the 200 exponential moving average. We want this at a 114.91, where it's just about out. I'm just looking for a bearish candlestick formation. We'll take this down. We're going to get some bounces, folks. 55 is going to give us a bounce. Daily pivot point is going to give us a bump, and we're going to get out at the S2 reversal pivot at 114.04. This is like an 86 pip trade, right? 85 pip trade. So this is a good trade. This can work, and we'll see how this goes today. But I'm looking for this absolutely to continue the trend. This is a pullback. I should have put a fib on there for you. This is a pullback, and we just need this to continue the trend to the downside. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. I don't know what to say. This is just lackluster, not doing anything. Yes, it's grinding downward. It gave you a little bit of a push on that retest with that spike on the 55 EMA, which is the blue line on the chart. But I'm not really ready to jump into this and make a commitment. If you're in this already at up 100 pips or something, just stay in it, right? Listen, the euro dollar is bias bearish, and we know that. So we're just going to stay with that and just continue. And we just want to sell this. I don't want to sell this here. I don't want to sell this at the S3 reversal pivot. Look at how close together the pivots are. That's because there's been no price action. It's been horrible, right? So we're just going to wait. We're just going to wait for a pullback. Even if it comes up to the daily pivot point and continues down, that's better than nothing. I'd love to get up to the R2 at 1072. That's 1072, and at the R2 and take it down from there. But we're just going to have to wait, folks. There's just nothing to do here. But I'm not really looking to enter into a trade with the euro dollar. It's just not moving. It's got no oomph to it, right? All right, let's take a look at the pound. Great British Pound US dollar. It's at a great spot to short it right now. This is at a great spot in Asia. This is at a good spot I put a trend line on here. You can see where it's come back. It's retested the trend line. This trend line is like a 5-touch trend line. So this is a valid trend line. Actually, it's a 6-touch trend line. But yeah, and we want to see this retest that trend line and basically continue the down trend and get in this trade. Be aware of that 10 exponential moving average. That is almost right above the current candle. So now, if this moves down on top of that last candle at the next print, what's going to happen here is this is not going to make it back to the trend line. However, if we get a red candle at the start of the new candle, sell it, right? We want to just sell it because that 10 is going to push it down. And what we're hoping for is that price throughout the day just rides the 10 EMA all the way down and continues to slide, okay? And that's what we're looking for. And we'll take profit at 20.98, right? And I just picked that as support because of that was where that wick comes down. And really, if you look at 12.25 is probably where we're going to start to see some bouncing around because it's coming up to that support area. And we'll just take it from there, right? But yeah, nice sell trade. Absolutely the time to look at getting into it. And like I said, I took this shot of this screen, and this is only about 15 minutes. So there is a new candle out. So we'll take a look at this after we did it. But we definitely want to get in this pound early. And your stop's going to go right above the 55 EMA. It's not hard to get the stop in there. It's either going to work or it's not. We're not going to risk a lot of pips here. Maybe 10, 15 pips and we'll risk. And if it doesn't work, that's okay. We'll get out and we'll re-enter it, right? But the bias is bearish. I'm only looking to sell this. All right, let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Little tricky. This looks like this left the dock already. The cruise ship has left the dock, and this has moved out. I really want this to pull back to the daily pivot point. And you know what? I put an hour on that, and I didn't put price. But anyhow, we want this to come back to the daily pivot point, and we'll get out at 0.7533. Not on the top of my hit list. And remember, we have China data coming out in Asia. This will affect the Aussie dollar. So we sure don't want to do anything with the Aussie till London open. London open, my friends. All right, let's take a look at this. Euro Aussie, nice trade setup forming here. I like this a lot. This comes up to this daily pivot point and gives us some bearish candles like weakness, like maybe a couple of dojis or something like that. We can sell this. The other thing that could happen is this is going to rump right through like it did that 55 EMA and go to the 200 at the all-in-one pivot point. So we're just going to have to watch this, but I really want to get in this at the daily pivot point at 45.96. We'll get out at 45.39, 40 pip trade, right? And we'll see how it goes. Now, it could continue to head down, but remember, this is the Euro Aussie. This can just absolutely pull back 80% of this swing. It wouldn't surprise me at all. And we could end up at the 200 exponential moving average. On the watch list today, definitely keeping a good eye on it. Let's take a look at the New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar moved to the downside. We might have missed this, my friends. This might just move on and move out. This we wanted to get in this at 0.7069, get out at 70.08, right? So this would be a nice 60 pip trade, but I don't want to take this here. I do not want to take this here, and the reason I say this might have moved is look at the 10 EMA on that last candle, right? The 10 EMA is moving down towards that candle, and as long as this price action continues to head down, this 10 EMA is going to follow it, and eventually it's going to catch up at some point. Now you got a 10 EMA on top of price, so that's just going to push it down. So I don't know if the pullback is going to happen. I don't think the China news is going to affect this currency pair. It is on the watch list. We'll see what happens at London Open and maybe the first 90 minutes into London, and we'll see what we can do at that point. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, I want to thank you for joining me on a Thursday, October 13th, 2016. Traders, please come visit our website at FX Clearing for your trading solutions. And you can follow me on Twitter at FXCL Alerts 1. That's FXCL Alerts 1 on Twitter, as I do tweet during the London session. Traders, if it's quiet, you don't hear from me. If there's something to put out there, I put it out there. It's not one of these things where I'm putting stuff out all the time. Okay? Traders, always remember to trade smart and not hard, and we'll catch you in about 24 hours. Take care, traders. Have a great trading day. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.